ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णापृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषाय शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So I just share the screen now. Okay, so you can all see the screen. One second, it should appear now. Yeah, you can all see the screen now.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so this is Shad Goswami Astakam. It's prayers by Srinivasacharya to the 6 Goswamis in Vrindavan. Okay, so anybody can tell me the names of the 6 Goswamis? I think so everybody should know by now. Who are the 6 Goswamis names?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Yeah. So 6 Goswamis are Shri Sanatan Goswami, Shri Rup Goswami, Shri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, and Srila Jiva Goswami and Srila Gopala Bhatt Goswami.
Yes, very good. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. So these are the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Okay. So these are the 8 Astakam is the 8. So 8 prayers unto the lotus feet of the 6 Goswamis by Srinivasacharya. So even Prabhupada has sung this song. You can have you can get the recording of this. It's very beautiful song from Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. So it is like this. Krishna Kirtana Ganana Tana Parau Premamritam Nidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyau Priyakarau Nirmatsarau Pujitau Shri Chaitanya Kripabarau Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarakou Vande Rupa Sanatanu Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau Nana Shastra Vicharanai Nipunau Sadharma Sanstapakau Lokanam hitakarino tribhuvane manyau sharanyakarau Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nande Namattalikau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau Shri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana Vidhau Shraddha Samriddhanvitau Papotpapanikaratau Tanubhritam Govinda Ganamrita Anandambudivardhanai Nipunau Kaivalya Nistarakau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau Tyaktva Turnam Sheshamandalapati Shrenim Sada Tuchavad Bhutva Dina Ganesha Kau Karunaya Kaupina Kantashritau Gopi Bhavara Samrita Bilahari Kalola Magnau Muhu Vande Rupa रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ कूजत् कोकिल हंस सारसगणा कीणे मयूराकुले नानारत्ननिबद्धमूलवितपा श्रीयुक्तवृन्दावने राधा कृष्णनं हर्निशं प्रभजतौ जीवर्तदौ यौ मुधा वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ संख्यापूर्णपूर्वकनामगाननतिभिः कालावसानीकृतौ निद्राहारविहारकादिविजितौ चैतन्यदीनौ च यौ राधा कृष्ण गुणास्मृतिर्मधुरिमा नन्देन सम्मोहितौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ राधा कुण्डतटे कालिन्दतनया तीरे च वंशीवटे प्रेमोन्मदावसदशेषदासया ग्रस्तौ परं मत्तौ सदा गायन्तु चाकदा हरेर्गुणा वरं भवाभिभूतौ मुदा वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ हे राधे व्रज देवी के च ललिते हे नंद सूनो कुथा श्री गोवर्धन कल्पपदापतले कालिंदिवने कुथा घोषन्तविति सवर्तो वज्रपुरे केतर्महाविह्वलौ वन्दे रूपस श्रीजीव गोपालकौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ। Okay, so this is the Shad Goswami Astakam. For my obeisances unto six Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Raghunath Dasa Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Dasa Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are always engaged in the chanting of the holy name of Krishna and dancing. They are just like the ocean of love of God, because they are not envious of anyone. Whatever they do, they are all pleasing to everyone. They are fully blessed by Lord Chaitanya. Thus, they are Hare Krishna. Harshali Mataji, you can make me host. Sorry, just got disconnected. Some internet issue. Okay, so we were just seeing through the Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Okay, so this Shad Goswami Ashtakams are the prayers, and you can see the qualities of a pure devotees in this. Harshali Mataji, are you there? Okay, so even in the does anybody know about the Priya Ashtaka in Bhagavad Gita? Which chapter it is? Yes, anybody knows? Yeah, my voice is audible, I hope. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any idea?
Sorry, Mataji, I don't.
I think Hare Krishna,
It's in the
18th chapter.
No.
No.
No. It's in the 12th chapter. 12th chapter, last 8 verses are called Priyastaka. Thank you, Mataji. I'm sorry, you got muted. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Actually, Mataji. Okay, so we were just seeing this. So, and the Priya Astaka and so the same types of qualities. So they are very dear, and what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given here. So why they are so pleased for Radha Krishna and Lord Chaitanya that's given because they are engaged in missionary activities meant to deliver all the conditions in the material. Who are I just go through here. Okay? Who are very expert routinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of principles for the benefit of all human beings, as they are honored all over the shelter. Okay. Okay, so here, yeah. So 3 words, and they are worth taking shelter of because they're absorbed in the mood of the gopis. So who is Rupa Manjari in Golok Vrindavan? Anybody knows? We just discussed this.
Srila Rupa Goswami Mataji.
Yes, Rupa Goswami. Which the Rupa Manjari, right? And I think so. The Sanatan Goswami. Anybody knows which Manjari he was? He is in Golok Vrindavan. My voice is audible, or how is it? It's background noises there or something.
It's audible, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, let's go now. So who are very much enriched in understanding Lord Chaitanya and who are thus expert in narrating his transcendental qualities. They are purifying conditioned souls from sinful activities by pouring upon transcendental song about Govinda. As such, they are all expert in increasing the limit of the ocean of transcendental bliss, and they are the saviors of the living entities from devouring mouth of liberation. Okay, during mouth of liberation. So let's see why liberation is not that important. It's given in NOD itself. Who kicked all of the associations of aristocracy as significant. So in order to deliver the poor conditioned souls, they attached loincloths treating themselves as a mendicant, but they are always immersed in the ecstatic ocean of gopis' love for Krishna and bathe always and repeatedly in the waves of that ocean, who are always engaged in the worshipping Radha Krishna in the transcendental land of Vrindavana, where there are beautiful trees full of fruits and flowers, which have under their roots all the valuable jewels. The Goswamis are perfectly competent to bestow upon the living entity the greatest boon of the whole of life, who are engaged in chanting the holy name of the Lord and bowing down the scheduled measurements. In this way, they utilized their valuable lives and executing in devotional activities. They conquered overeating and sleeping and were always meek and humble and enchanted by remembering the transcendent qualities of the Lord. Do you know how many hours did Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami sleep? Or all these Shad Goswamis slept in a day?
2 hours.
Yes, 2 hours. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur,
2 hours.
how many hours? 2 hours. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami,
2 hours.
2 hours. And Srila Prabhupada, 2 hours. It's in parampara, just 2 hours of sleep, but we should not imitate it. Okay, they are manjaris, but we are conditioned souls. So whatever time we have to execute devotional service in full efficiency. Okay, so yes, who was sometimes on the bank of Radhakunda Lake or shores of Yamuna, and sometimes at Vamshivata. What is Vamshivata? What did Krishna do there? Vamshivata. What do you mean by Vamshi? Anybody has idea? Vamshi.
Flute.
Flute. Yes.
He played flute.
Yes. What did he do there with the flute? Yes. Hare Krishna, I don't know if my voice is breaking or it's audible. So yes, sometimes at Vamshivata, so he used to play the flute there, call his gopis and sometimes the cows, right? So they appeared just like a madman. So they used to sit there and they used to do Leela Smaran, and they used to just appear like a madman in full ecstasy of the love of Krishna, exhibiting different transcendental symptoms in their bodies, and they are merged in the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. Who are always chanting very loudly everywhere in Vrindavan, shouting, Queen of Vrindavan, Radharani, O Lalita, O son of Nanda Maharaj, where are you all now? Are you just on the hill of Govardhan? Or are you under the tree of bank of Yamuna? Where are you? These were their moods in executing devotional service. So this Krishna consciousness. So what is this mood called? Just now they were in their mood. These were their mood. What is this mood called as? Any idea? Where are you? Where, like they're searching. Which mood is it?
Vipralamba Bhav.
Yes, Vipralamba Bhav. Very good. So it's in a Vipralamba Bhav, the highest stage. Prabhupada says it's the highest stage. We have to reach there. Vipralamba Bhav. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now let's go, because this Shad Goswami Astakam is connected to today's presentation. So I just took that, because we are going to speak about Rupa Goswami in detail today, because without understanding the Acharya, we can't go forward. So we'll just go through this. This is actually the Bhakti Shastri PPTs, but in a simpler way. We won't go such detail, but then whatever is required, we'll just see those things. So better we have an OD with you, hard copy. It's good, you touch, you feel the book rather than just soft copy. So Nectar of Devotion, the complete science of Bhakti Yoga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Sri Radha Govinda. Okay, that was lesson 1, just an overview of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu today. So, Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu. Okay, we can divide this into 4 parts. One is Bhakti, then we can break it Rasa and Amrita, and then Sindhu. Okay, what do you mean by Bhakti? As in a simpler term.
Devotion.
Bhakti.
Devotion.
Devotional service, because Prabhupada always said devotional service. It's a service you're going to do. Then, what do you mean by rasa? Any idea? Rasa.
Nectar.
Yes. Rasa. What do you mean by amrita? Amrita is nectar.
Amrita is
So
nectar.
rasa is what? Rasa. When you eat
Taste, Mataji.
rasgulla.
Taste.
Okay.
Juicy.
Taste.
Kind
In
of mellow.
rasgulla. Yes, mellow. Very good. Yes, mellow or juice. So, for example, a simple example is rasgulla, right? Or why do you call it rasagulla? All Bengalis, just answer me. Why do you call rasgulla as rasgulla? What do we have in that? A gulla, a white ball, and rasa,
Rasa. Juice.
right? Juice. So that is what here is called as rasa. Okay. So let's just see now. So bhakti means devotion, and rasa means the juice. Amrita means, which is a nectar. Okay. So nectar, and then Sindhu means what? Ocean. Okay. So bhakti, rasa, amrita, Sindhu. And what we got what we have to study in this whole book, Prabhupada says, just a bindu, a drop of nectar of devotion, a drop which we are reading. And in those drops, we are only going to cover first 19 chapters only. And for that, there is a reason as well. Some are asking in a previous class, why only 19 chapters? Why not more? So let's understand that also. So Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu. First is, Prabhupada said only 19 chapters are very important, and that should be put in the Bhakti Shastri syllabus. So that's the reason. So let's see other reasons as well. So Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu, the Sanskrit word, we have shortcut translation, nectar of devotion. Okay. Rupa Goswami's purpose is to present the ocean of Bhakti Rasa. Rasa means mellow, the juice. It is just like the ocean. This ocean has limitations, but that is unlimited. Which is this ocean? What we see here, right? Which is the biggest ocean in this world, in this earth? Which is the biggest ocean? Pacific Ocean. Yes, Pacific Ocean, but it has a limit, right? We can count how much depth it is, right? They are called, it's the biggest ocean, but there is a limit. We can calculate the kilometers. But then, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is unlimited. So one Pacific Ocean, what we are seeing, there may be bigger, 3 times bigger than Pacific Ocean in some other planet in this material world. But bigger than that, it's the Garbhodakashayi Ocean. So bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. But there is a limit for everything. But then Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the ocean of love of Krishna, is unlimited. Everybody can come into that ocean, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compares Bhakti to a great ocean. When he was speaking before Rupa Goswami, he said that it is like an ocean. So I'll take a drop of it and you taste it. So this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is just a drop of that ocean. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Rupa Goswami for how many days? How many days? Anybody knows? I think 15 days was it? No.
7 days. 7 days.
10 days. 10 days.
7 days, na? Okay. So, yes. So he was instructing Rupa Goswami. And in those 7 days, he just said it's just a drop of ocean of love for Krishna. Out of that, Prabhupada is only giving us even not even a one, it's a drop of what we are getting now. And even that to understand, it's very difficult. That too, to understand it, not just understand, to taste that love for Krishna, it's very difficult. But then Prabhupada gave us in a very simple way. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described a small part or portion of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Bhakti, devotional service, is there is a rasa, taste. The taste is Amrita, which is eternal. So the devotional service, the taste for devotional service. So in which stage that the taste comes? Can anybody tell me the stages of devotional service?
9.
Stage.
9.
Which are the stages? Not 9. It comes in middle of these 9 stages. So which is the first stage of devotional service? First stage.
Shraddha.
Shraddha. Then
Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu
Sadhu
Sangha.
Sangha. Then
Bhajana
Bhajana
Kriya. Bhajana Kriya.
then
Anartha Nivritti.
Anartha Nivritti. Nishtha.
Nishtha.
Anartha.
Ruchi. Yes.
Prema
Ruchi.
and Bhava.
Asakti. Bhava.
Bhava.
Prema. Okay. So Ruchi, that Ruchi is what here is spoken as. The Ruchi. The taste for Krishna consciousness. But then the love for Krishna, it just increases. The taste just keeps on increasing. The same leelas are happening in Goloka every day. But the taste for that love for Krishna is just increasing. Okay. That's what here it is said. Every service has some attractive feature which drives the servitor progressively on and on. Right? But then that force which drives philanthropist, the householder, the nationalist is also called as rasa, or the kind of mellow or the relation who taste is very sweet. So when we do service, it's not just here, it is not just speaking about devotional service, any service, right? And Prabhupada says when we don't have anybody to serve, we serve cats and dogs. That's what is happening. Every home there is cat and dog. They just pick up and bring and they start serving. Right? Is there any benefit from having a cat or dog in a home? No benefit. No such big benefits as you think. But then why do we serve them whole day just to catch one rat? Even if you catch a rat, a normal cat outside your home can also do that. But then this cat in the home or a dog in the home, why it is so special? Because you're serving it. So what is that making you serve? There is something, right, which is forcing you to serve. The taste for that service. But then the taste has a limit in this material world. How much you can serve a cat or dog? There's a limit for it, right? There's a limit. Today you are serving somebody, your child, your wife, your husband, your parents, you're serving. But then one day there is a limit for it. That's what is called as chapala sukha. Chapala sukha labalagire. Bajahure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. So in that song, it is said that this material world, whom we are serving, Kripana Durajana. Kripana, that means miserly people you are serving with all the defects in them, and Durajana, all this bad quality people who are Dushkritinas. You're serving them and you tend to get happiness, but then that happiness has, it's not for full time, it's just small taste which you're getting. But then you want to do service, you can't sit without doing service. Actually, Prabhupada says, yes, every living entity in this material world likes to do service, but then they have forgotten to whom that service has to be done. Yes, they are doing service. They are trying to get happiness from that service, but they're not getting happiness. Rather, they are getting frustrated from that thing. But when that service is applied for Krishna, then you'll get real happiness. The relish or the taste of mundane rasa not long endure. That's called bhoga tyaga. What do you mean by bhoga tyaga?
Mataji, think of gratification and renunciation.
Sense gratification and renunciation. It's like that. Oh, I want. Then one day, yeah, enough. So we are like that. Bhoga, we want, and then we just tyaga. So that's what the four purushattvas, or what is it called? Purushattvas, maybe in this world. What is it? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Right? That's what people tend to get in this material world who are not very much spiritually advanced. They think that dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Okay, dharma means my work. I have to work, and then artha. When I work according to some punya phala, I get artha. I get some money or some good good image in the society, or good monetary facility, or good education, or something, a good thing. You're getting artha. After that, what you will do? I want so much money, but then for what? For sense gratification. That's what kama means. Dharma, artha, kama. And when you are frustrated with that kama, you go to moksha. That's a wrong way to go towards the Lord. A complete wrong way. And people today are behind that. They are just like dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But that's a wrong way to go to moksha. After you get frustrated, you want to go to the Lord. That's not the way. Somebody was saying that when the allopathy doesn't work, when the homeopathy doesn't work, then you go to Tirupati. So that's not the way to go there. You're going in a wrong way. You're going, but then you're going in a wrong way. Moksha doesn't give you anything. So that's what people are. Bhoga tyaga. You do bhoga, and after you get frustrated, you tyaga. You just go. And then what you do? You go to another thing. Because Ramanista Prabhu once was giving an example, like a drunkard person. If you think, by my experience, I learn, or I'll try everything, and when I get frustrated in life, then I leave everything and come to Lord. That's what people think. But then Maya won't make you feel frustrated only. She'll make you feel frustrated, and this very next second, she'll give you something new to enjoy. It's like that. He was telling that somebody is drunkard and he has a liquor bottle, and he says, after I get frustrated from this liquor, I leave drinking. I'll just leave all the alcoholic things. I'll just leave. So he tastes that, for 1-2 months, he's tasting the same liquor, and he gets frustrated and he throws it off. I don't want. And he's like, I'm leaving this. I don't want alcohol. I'm just leaving. A new advertisement comes in his television. It says that a new liquor brand has opened in your city, and he just runs. He just says, that liquor was not good, maybe this liquor would be good. So we are just behind this. Oh, that is not good, I'll just tyaga, and tomorrow I'll just get another one, bhoga. So we are in this bhoga tyaga. So that's what is happening. That is also a rasa in this material world. But bhakti rasa, so here what does Prabhupada says? Bhakti rasa, however, the mellow relished in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, does not finish with the end of life. Right? Which is that shloka of Bhagavad Gita which says that it will continue, or it won't end in this life, your devotional service. Which is that?
Mataji, Nega Bikrama Mataji.
Yes.
2.40 Nega Bikrama Nashosti Pratyavayona Vidyate Swalpamapatsa Dharmasya Trayate Bhakto Mayat. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes. Hare Krishna. So yes, what is it telling? Neha Bikrama Nashosti. It won't get ended. The devotional service, if you are in the path of devotional service, it won't end in this life. It will continue eternally. Even if you do swalpamapyasa, if you try in this way, in this path, little, you will be saved from the greatest danger. That's what Krishna is telling. So it's eternally existing. Any action performed in the satisfaction of Krishna is in this transcendental bhakti rasa stage of life can be relished perpetually. When one is thus engaged in the devotional service, all the varieties of rasa mellows turn into eternity. So we all tend to do service, but we should turn that service towards Krishna. Sevonmukhe hijivhado swayam eva spuratyadaha. So yes,
It's so
mute
cold.
yourselves. Yes, mute yourselves. Okay. So, and sevonmukhe. Yes, we are doing seva, but that seva should be towards Krishna. Then we can get eternal happiness. Okay. So, Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno, Sadharma Sanstapako, Lokanam Hitakarano, Tribhuvane, Manyo Saranyakaro, Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Bhajanan, Anande Mattaliko, Vande Rupa Sanatano, Raghuyugho, Sri Jiva Gopalako. So, here again it is said, just now we read the translation. So, here, why it is said like this? They wrote so many books just to establish the real religion, right? So why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what was the instructions given to Rupa Goswami and all the Shad Goswamis by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? What are they supposed to do?
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I try Mataji?
Yeah, yes, Mataji.
To go to Vrindavan and other places to, do the prachar Mataji, Krishna Prema.
Prachar in Vrindavan for Vrajavasis? No. It was not
No,
for
to
Prachar. It was
excavate the books, Mataji, to
Find the
excavate the
deities,
books and then
yes,
reread them.
find out the deities,
Old
yes,
deities.
and then
to install them and to guide people to how to do the worship, Archa Vigraha Puja and all.
okay, yes, that was the one. Okay, finding the
the
Leela
lost
spots.
Then
Mm,
scriptures were
to write books.
scriptures
Yes.
had to be rewritten.
Yes, very good. To get all the scriptures, Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno, right? They were Nipunas. What does the Shad Goswami Astakam says? They were not, uneducated or something. Yes, Tapa Chakrabarti Mataji or Prabhu, just mute yourselves if you don't have to speak anything. You're unmuting again and again. It's disturbing. Okay, so here you can see that, right? Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno. So they were Nipunas. They knew even Arabic language. They were scholars in Sanskrit. So here you can see that, they were not just, madmen. They were looking like a madman, but they were not. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed, one instruction was go to Radha Kund and, and meditate on the leelas they used to do. And second, that they have to find out all the places, first excavate Radha Kund and Shyam Kund, and then get all the deities, lost deities in Vrindavan, because they were all the main deities of Vrindavan, the Govinda, Gopala and Madana Mohana, right? These were the main deities of Vrindavan, and they were lost because of Buddhism and everything, and Mughals and everything. So they were lost. So they had to be excavated. And next is the main thing was to rewrite all the Shastras and give commentaries on them, right? So they used to do that whole day. They were just busy in doing all these things. So, so why did they do this all? Why was that instruction given to rewrite all the Shastras or to find out the lost Shastras? Why was it necessary?
Yeah, so Mataji, means during there was a period, the lean period, probably from 7th century till 15th century. There was a lot of raids were done. Mughals came and So they destroyed the previous heritage. So they were supposed to reinstate those things. That was the objective behind that, to bring the people more
Yes.
toward bhakti.
Yes, that was the one reason. And before that, there was Buddhism, which was saying no Vedas. And thirdly, to propagate Vaishnavism or Gaudiya Vaishnava. And you see, although Prabhupada had, even Prabhupada followed the same. Prabhupada had all the books, all the Acharya books with him, all these books. But he himself wrote those books because after some time, people, their understanding just changes. Now, if I go and say I want to read Rupa Goswami's commentary on, Bhagavatam, I can't understand one word. I can't understand. So Prabhupada has to rewrite it, so that we understand in a simple way, because our understanding and so much contamination in our understanding, we won't be able to understand that. So they had to rewrite. So we can't understand Rupa Goswami's commentary, and you think we can understand bigger, greater Acharya's commentary? We can't. So they had to simplify those things, and then after that they had to rewrite, so that some Mayavadi commentaries were also there. They had to clean that out and write it, and to deliver this word. They were simply doing for the welfare activities of the people in general. Lokanam hitakarino, right? So it is for us. And if you clearly see that Shad Goswami Ashtakam, in that it is written that Dhira Adhira Janapriyo Nirmatsaro Pujito. So they were dear to Dhira. What do you mean by Dhira? Even in Bhagavad Gita, it was there. Dhira means what?
Sober person, Mataji.
Sober person, Mataji.
Sober person. In a simple way, if you say, how that sober person is?
So he has
Who knows?
perseverance.
He have patience.
Perseverance and patience.
Patience, perseverance, and basically he has the idea of spiritual life, right? He's a spirit soul and everything. He knows that. He's a pandita. So a sober person, dhira. Adhira means who is affected so much by the material world, impatient person, all this. But then here it is said, we are not like that. We compare. But here Rupa Goswami or Shad Goswami, it is said Dhira Adhira Janapriyo. Not just Dhira Janapriyo, even Adhira they used to like. Why? Because at least in general they used to guide people. Those, okay, if you are coming to Rupa Goswami for spiritual advancement, then he'll give that guidance. If you're not coming for that, it's just like Babaji, please bless me. Even that he used to do, because Uttama Adhikari does not see whether you are a devotee. He sees everybody as a devotee. Okay, so that's the thing, Rupa Goswami. So why? And he was not envious. So that's why people used to pujito. That means they used to love him. Whether it's for, just by seeing them, they used to get peace of mind. So both Dhira and Adhira, they used to like. Formerly, the society was not so much degraded like today we are. As soon as you give evidence from the Vedic literature, they would accept. So these Goswamis were making research in the Vedic literature, Samaveda, Rigveda, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Puranas, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam. You will find Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu evidence in Nana Shastra. So we don't have this in this book because it's just a translation. But if you see the real, and don't ask me where it is because I don't know where it is. We are not supposed to look at the real Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu because it's so high principle. So, but if you see Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and even in this book, Prabhupada translated, you can see some quotations. Most of them are from Srimad Bhagavatam. Some quotations from Srimad Bhagavatam, some quotations from Mahabharata, and some quotations from Vedas and Upanishads and Puranas. You can see those quotations even in this English book. Okay. So Prabhupada just translated it. So Srila Rupa Goswami is described as Bhakti Rasacharya because he is one who knows the essence of devotional service. His famous book is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What are the other books Rupa Goswami wrote?
NOI, NOD.
NOI, what is it?
Nectar of
Nectar
Nectar of
yes, nectar of instruction.
Nectar of
Then
devotion. Nectar of Devotion.
Okay,
Then,
yes.
then
The
Biganda
two other,
Madhava. Biganda Madhava.
Vigada Madhava and Lalita Madhava. They were the two books. Okay. Yes, thank you, Mataji. Yes, these were discussed in the NOI, the first introduction of Upadeshamrita, if you remember. So we just spoke which were his famous books, Vigada Madhava and Lalita Madhava. There were the two books. One speaks about the Vrindavan pastime, one speaks about the Mathura pastime, Dwarka pastimes. Okay, so is the science of devotional service. By reading this book, one can understand the meaning of devotional service. So this book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is kind of a law book, you can say. Or it's for those people who want to advance, who are already in devotional service. It's not for those who are getting introduced to devotional service. It's not for them. They can't understand. It's for those who are already introduced to devotional service and want to advance in devotional service. For them, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is given. So although we are not qualified to know this book, but still we are getting the knowledge of this by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Naminister Prabhu. So, so this book is very advanced book. Okay. Yes, it's in a very simple way. You can just read and understand it, but then to apply it, it's very difficult. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is the most celebrated book of Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay, Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Sva Padantikam. So this is the pranam mantra of Rupa Goswami. So before starting nectar of devotion, we should all recite this, because he is the one who is going to establish the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this world, this material world. Sthapitam yena bhutale. Bhutale is this world. He just established the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that Rupa Goswami, we have to pray, who established the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this world. Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantilam. When will he give me the shelter? So we should beg like a beggar in front of Rupa Goswami to get that one just drop of nectar of devotion. Just a drop. We should beg. We are begging in front of so many people in this world. So we should beg towards the great acharyas so that we can get some. So let's understand. Okay, something new we can try with this 21 people. Okay, here. So we'll do one breakout rooms now. Is that okay? Breakout rooms and discussion.
Yes,
Identify the reasons for Prabhupada's writing of Nectar of Devotion and discuss how these reasons are relevant for individually and for you individually, not for, and society at a large. Select the representative to present in the result of your discussion to the whole class. So basically, I'll do a breakout room and you have to go and discuss this, that why Srila Prabhupada chose this book so that we all read. And it's especially for Bhakti Shastri, why this book is given. So please identify some of the valid reasons and give me just 2-3 points from your, because others also have to get some chance. So give 2-3 reasons for why it is done. I'll give 10 minutes. So quickly go through, and who does not have a hard copy, just go to the Veda base and you can just see there.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, we have our exams at 8 o'clock.
Today?
Today, yes.
How many of you have?
Bhakti Shastri.
Raise your hand. How many of you have? You
So
could have
can I
informed me
read?
before.
Yes, Mataji.
You could have informed us before, no, during the class. I should not have done this,
No matter, because Mataji, she already told that because 7 o'clock we have class and they don't want to miss, so that's why she has given us 8 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. So how many of you are going now?
5.
Can
You
you
have 5
raise your hand?
class.
5, but Kadambari Mataji. Okay, you can leave. Those who have examination now, you can leave.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji,
Thank you
thank
so much,
you.
Mataji.
After that, I'll Hare Krishna. After that only I'll start the breakout room. Yes, those who have exams, you can leave now.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so I'll start the breakout room. Okay, I hope you understood why this breakout room is done, and you have to just okay, I'll make a 3 breakout rooms and 6 per participants. Okay. Yes. So these are the this is the one question that identify the reason, and I'll give you 10 minutes time. And one participant should come forward and explain what have you discussed in the group and what are the points you have taken. Okay, Hare Krishna, I just opened the group now. Please join your groups. Hare Krishna. This discussion is done. So we can come forward with some answers. Okay, so let's see. What was your question? Yeah, here. Okay, we were just going through the group discussion. So, Nectar of Devotion, identify the reasons of Prabhupada's writing of Nectar of Devotion. So this was the question, and yes, from the first team, which was the team, I'll just read out the names. Yeah, Devahuti Mataji, Indu Mataji, Raunak Prabhu, Sai, Shruti Mataji, and Tapas Prabhuji. So anybody wants to come forward? Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
So one of the major reasons for which Prabhupada wrote a Nectar of Devotion was that he wanted all of us to raise from the platform of material life to the spiritual life. And Mataji, this book is quite important, and it's also relevant for us at an individual level and also at social level, because this teaches us how to love Krishna. And once we start to love Krishna, we will love each and every living entity. There won't be any reason to form organizations like the United Nations. Then, Mataji, this book also extinguishes the fire in the heart of all the men who are confused due to their materialism. They think that only material life is sufficient, but this is not the case. Unless we take to spiritual life, we cannot feel satisfied. Totally. And it also gives information to philosophers and scientists and all other people to love Krishna.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. You said so many points. And yes, first is raising from oneself to the spiritual realm. And also that the missing point to be shown to the world. Okay, yes. Thank you, Prabhu. And I hope everybody answered in the group for these points. Yes. So room number 2 was Aarti Mataji, Chitra Mataji, Manjula Mataji, Saurabh Prabhu, and Suvina Mataji.
Yeah, so Hare Krishna Mataji. So for group 2, I will present. Yeah, so the first question, that the reason of Prabhupada writing the Nectar of Devotion. So as a group, we identified the reasons. So to bring people close towards Krishna Prema. So that's the first reason. And then to establish the do's and don'ts, which are the things favorable for Krishna Bhakti and which are to be abstained, which are the we have to keep away. So and yeah, so then the third point we discussed is then to bring a sustainable advancement in the devotional service. So most of the people have started discharging the devotional service, but now they have to advance and sustain in that direction. So that is the thing. And to ignite the dormant love for Krishna. So that was another point. And then to establish, or give a reference book or a manual which people can refer who are serious in the spiritual or the devotional services. So that was another objective. And as an individual, so second part of the question, as an individual or as a society, what is the takeaway? So that the first takeaway to realize the permanent or the real happiness. So that will help us in getting the permanent and real happiness. The second point we discussed, so to make people as an individual or society to realize what is the real goal of life, real purpose of the life, since the people are misled in current setup, so they have to have a clear cut direction. So this is the I think what we concluded. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, so as an individual and for the society at large, so many of the people are misguided. So this can be a good guide for them. And the last group, which was the Balaji Prabhu, Bhagyalakshmi Mataji, Nutan Singh Mataji, and Ramanujan Prabhu, Sneha Singh, and Saurabh Prabhu.
Mataji, I will speak for the group. We kind of discussed similar points to rooms 1 and 2, so ours may not be unique, but one of the primary reasons why we think Srila Prabhupada wrote the Nectar of Devotion was one, he wanted to steer us away from the materialistic life towards spiritual life, and for that he wanted to give us some advanced practices and realizations to us. And the original book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu was a very complicated and huge book which he simplified into the Nectar of Devotion. So that was one of the reasons why he wrote Nectar of Devotion, to kind of elevate us, all of us, in Krishna consciousness. And by inculcating these realizations and philosophies and practices, the jivas, we gradually steer away, we go away from the materialistic life towards spiritual life, and we renounce a lot of things and take up good practices, give away bad practices. That directly affects us personally, and it also affects society at large, because you can imagine it reduces consumption by a lot, and people become more magnanimous, so they they can donate more, they reduce their own consumption. Overall it can reduce stress at a global and planetary and civilization level if everyone takes up and practices these things.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, so society at large. Yes, thank you so much. So I hope everybody just contributed for these points, wonderful points you have told. So yes, so as an individual and for the society, so these are the things. So one which everybody told was the right way or to execute devotional service. That is a missing point in the whole society. So to bring up that, this book was done. Okay, so let me just go through this. What does Prabhupada tell about this? So Prabhupada tells that we have failed to create peace and harmony. If you see one of the pages in the preface, this is what Prabhupada has given, that peace and harmony in the society, even such a great attempt as United Nations, because do not know the right method. So they constructed
Mataji?
Mataji?
Yes, can you present it in a very simple form? Not able to understand.
Not able to understand.
What Prabhuji said was not able to understand. It's in a very high bombastic language. So can you give a very simple language so that everybody can understand?
That's what.
So give it a very simple language so that you can understand. They're not, because first time we are taking the Nectar of Devotion, no? So I have not even gone through that. So if you can tell me.
Yeah. So he just told what the group told just now. So let's understand what Prabhupada has told now. Okay, and it's in a written form, and you cannot see this, right? So yeah, he just told that the society is going to a degraded way, to bring them back to the real way of life, and that's what even Prabhupada has written here. That's what we are going to read. So first try to read the whole thing, and then we can understand this. Okay, so to redirect the whole society into a right way, right path towards Lord Krishna. So that's what Prabhupada want to do by establishing or by writing the Nectar of Devotion. So such a great intent. So when United Nation happened, so what was the purpose of United Nation? What was the purpose of United Nation? The basic name, the meaning itself tells.
To bring peace and harmony in the whole world.
So after United Nation came, Second World War, actually many countries happened. They were, and you see even today, the number of countries are increasing. That's harmony or division which is happening. It's a harmony, it's an indication for harmony or it's indication for division. Why number of nations are increasing? Yeah, it's indication of division because there's no harmony. So when so how do you want a harmony? How can you bring? That's what Prabhupada is saying. Do not know the right method. They want to unite, but they don't know. So if you see when do you see equally? What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? When do you see equally a person equally?
So the Paramatma, the Lord as a Paramatma.
When we love Krishna, Mataji.
When we love Krishna, okay.
The Lord
And then basic is
Krishna in all.
Paramatma resides in the heart.
Paramatma resides in the heart.
Center is Krishna.
Center is Krishna, all high this thing. But from the second chapter, Krishna starts, we are not this body, we are souls. So first let's identify ourselves as the souls, right? I'm not this female, I'm not this male, I'm not this caste, I'm not this religion. I'm first of all a spirit soul. And what is the position of that soul? Is a servant of Krishna. So first we have to understand we are souls. But they don't know the right method. They are trying to bring equality by seeing this material body. But material bodies are not equal. They are based on different desires, different varieties, right? A female and a man can't be equal in the bodily concept. They can't. But if you say that the female and male is just a body, but the inside that body are the two spirit souls, then we can see it in an equal eye. Pandita Samadarshina. So in that way, but then what they are trying to do is harmony and unite. But then this unity is breaking when they are just trying to see in a bodily platform. So Prabhupada is saying the method is very simple, right? Bhagavad Gita itself says that's an introduction for a spiritual life. Many of us just came by reading Bhagavad Gita, right? Just by knowing Bhagavad Gita. But one has to understand it with a cool head. So we have to have a cool head to understand scriptures. That's why what do you need to have your cool head? What is the simple way to get yourselves in a cool head? Which way we can do? What do we suggest when you come to level 1? What do we do?
Only chanting.
Chanting, yes, chanting. Yeah, so that's what is helping them. Why do we say chant, chant, chant? If you chant, your head will become cool and then you can touch the Shastra and Shastra will enter your head, or else it won't. So we have to chant the names of Lord in a very concentrative way. So Nectar of Devotion teaches all the men how to perform simple and natural method of loving Krishna. It's simple and natural. It is like, magnet, small pieces of magnet. A magnet is attracted to the iron chiplets, right? Is it artificially you are sticking the iron chiplets to the magnet or it's directly getting attracted? How is it? When a magnet comes near to the iron, it naturally attracts or you make it forcibly attract?
It is a natural force.
Natural force, natural process. Similarly, Krishna is the magnet and we are just the iron, small chiplets of iron. Naturally, when Krishna comes in our life, we get attracted to Krishna. It's a natural process. It's not artificial process. It's a natural way to get attracted to Krishna, right? Everybody knows this. Everybody can understand this. right? Is there any difficulty in understanding that I get naturally attracted to Krishna? I need not do forcibly or artificially. This is understandable to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes,
So
Mataji.
this is what Nectar of Devotion is teaching us. How to get naturally attracted to Krishna. But for now, that iron is rusted. Okay. Yes, naturally it get attracted. But when there is rust, it takes a lot of time to get attracted. So that rust is what kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, desires, and all these things comes together, and the iron is now rusted. So to clean the rust, what we do, we chant the holy name and we do devotional service in a sadhana bhakti. We are doing under the regulative principles, right? So devotional service is natural, but then it is not coming now. It's not coming naturally. I am not able to do devotional service. Then we go under an acharya, under his guidance, we do devotional service. We follow the rules and regulation, and then as we follow, as the rust is rubbed and clean, the natural symptom of the iron comes out, and naturally it gets attracted to Krishna. So for us now, we are now artificially trying to get attracted to Krishna. That means we are trying to clean ourselves now. But as we are cleaning, naturally it gets attracted to Krishna. So if we learn how to love Krishna, then it's very easy to immediately and spontaneously love every living being. So this is what Prabhupada says. And when you love Krishna, you naturally love everyone in this world. So if we are feeling some negative feelings towards somebody or some enviousness towards somebody, then we are indirectly envious of Krishna. We are envious of Lord indirectly. So when we love each and every living entity, we are actually loving Krishna. And when we love Krishna, we feel love for every living entity. That's a natural way. But then I said, we are rusted iron. So we have all this tendency. So to clean that, we have to go to Guru Sadhu Shastra. So I am appealing here. So Prabhupada, in the last, almost in the last, he says that I'm appealing here with such confused men to learn the art of devotional service as directed in devotional nectar of devotion. As I'm sure the fire of the material existence is burning within their hearts will be immediately extinguished, right? Which song we sing daily, and it says the same sentence. The fire in the heart is extinguished by the mercy of
Samsara
Samsara Dhavana.
Yes. Yes, samsara dhavanalli the loka, trinaya karunya, ghanaganatvam, right? So it's a karunya of a spiritual master. So we are not eligible to read Nectar of Devotion. It's a mercy of Srila Prabhupada, right? It is a difficult book, but it's not so difficult book that we can't understand. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we can understand. So first we have to beg mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Then it's very easy. So that's what Prabhupada says here. It's very easy process, but the only thing requirement is enthusiasm to learn it. Originally in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the ocean is divided into watery oceans into east, south, west, and north. So Prabhupada in the introduction part is saying this thing. So east, west, north, and south. So this nectar of devotion can be divided into 4 parts. So first, from the introduction to the 19th chapter, it's Purva Vibhaga, east. So it speaks about Bhagavata Bhakti Veda. That means varieties of devotional service. Okay, basically all this Sakyarasa, Dasyarasa, everything is dealt in this. Okay, but not in detail. So just upper part, and what is Samanya Bhakti, and after that how one get advanced, and what are the features of devotional service, what are the characteristics, all this are dealt in the first part. And after that comes as a Samanya Bhagavata Bhakti, that's in the Dakshina, south. Okay, so you imagine an ocean, and in ocean there are 4 kinds of waves, which one wave is going to the east part, and one wave is going to the south part of the ocean. One wave is going to the Paschima, that means in the west part, and one part is going to the northern area. Okay, so the ocean, the four waves are going in the four region, and Purva Vibhaga, the south part of the ocean, we saw that Bhagavata Bhakti Veda, that means the varieties of devotional service. And then coming to the Dakshina, the south, is the general symptoms. When you start doing devotional service, what are the symptoms you get? So we are not going to touch this part. We are only going to touch till the 19th chapters. You can continue if you want, you can continue reading it. But in the course, in this course of level 3 or Bhakti Shastri, only till 19 chapters are allowed in the syllabus. So after that, if you want, you can read, you can continue. Okay, but then it won't be there in your course. So Samanya Bhakti, and coming to the Paschima part is the Mukhya Bhakti, that's the primary loving relation, little more advanced. And Guna Bhakti Rasa, that's the indirect love, still more advanced. It's from the 45 to the 51 chapters. So totally there are 51 chapters, and in those 51 chapters we are going to only deal with the first 19 chapters of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So Samanya Bhakti, in this there are laharis. Okay, in the east part of the ocean there are some waves which are going. As I said, some waves are going. So what are those waves? Just an analogy of what they have given here. So what are the waves, laharis? One is Samanya Bhakti, general description, that's given in the first chapter and the introduction of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And then comes to the second to the 16th is the Sadhana Bhakti. Why the Sadhana Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, everything is given. So let's go in detail of that in the upcoming classes. So Sadhana Bhakti, how to practice devotional service. Okay, so coming to the next is Bhava Bhakti. You all know, right? Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava. So Bhava is ecstasy. So how one who is in the ecstasy, how does he deal with the devotional service? And the very next chapter is the Prema Bhakti, the pure love of God. That means how the pure love of God comes to us. So that's the highest stage of devotional service. And after these chapters, the intensity of the chapters or the topics increases. So we won't touch that because we are neophytes. Okay, but if somebody wants to read it, you can read it anytime. But then that won't be dealt in the classes. So overview of Purva Vibhag. In the first part, there are the four waves. The first being the general description of the devotional service. The second concerns with the executive, regulative principles for executing devotional service. And the third part is devotional service in ecstasy. And the fourth is the ultimate goal. Okay, so these are very important topics that we are going to deal in these course of time. Okay, so let's understand. Invocation. Mangala Charan, there is an invocation, but the Sanskrit verse is not given in the book. Okay, but in the introduction page, you can see. So Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all the cause and the reservoir of the all rasas or relationships. So he is Sarvakarana Karanam. And in the Mangala Charan, what do you mean by Mangala Charan? Mangala Charan. We every day say before the class.
Whenever we start that class or any auspicious thing, we start with the opening prayer, no Mataji, it is like that.
Yes, opening prayers, or that's the starting of all the this thing. So that's called Mangala Acharan. Okay. So every time when we say Om Ajnana Timirandasya, it's actually a Mangalacharan, basically. Okay, so to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there is a Mangalacharan. And in that Mangalacharan, Krishna is called as a particular name in that. He is called as Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay, Rasamrita Murti. Okay, embodiment. So Vrindavana Krishna is specifically called as Akhila Rasamrita Murtihi. So let's see why he is called as Akhila Rasamrita Murti. So what all rasa exhibited in Vrindavan? What all kinds of rasa does he exhibit?
Madhurya rasa. and
Sakya,
Vatsalya. Vatsalya, Sakya,
Sakya Rasa,
Adhurya,
Rasa,
Shant.
Shanta.
Shanta, Dasya,
Shant also.
Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. So these are the 5 rasas. What about Mathura Krishna or Dwaraka Krishna? How many rasa does he does the Madhurya rasa, the Vaikuntapati?
No.
Vatsalya rasa?
Yes.
no.
Vaikuntapati Krishna, the Vishnu form.
no,
Vatsalya
Mataji.
rasa? No. What about the Sakya rasa? Does he have a friend? Best friend?
Yes.
The Vishnu has? Vishnu has a best friend we have ever seen? No. We didn't, right? Sakya rasa is not there in Vaikunta. Is that Dasya rasa in Vaikunta?
Yes, Mataji.
Shanta rasa?
Yes, Mataji. Shant also.
Yes. So Shanta and Dasya. So starting with the Shanta rasa, neutral. Then comes the Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhurya is the topmost rasa. And Krishna, that's why here specifically we say Vrindavan Krishna is the main and the Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu. Even if you see in the context of rasa, Vishnu does not perform all the rasas. He just performs 2 rasas. One is Shanta, one is Dasya. Even there is Lakshmi, but she's not in a Madhurya rasa. She's in Dasya rasa there in Vaikunta. She's not in Madhurya rasa. Don't mess up that thing. So Madhurya rasa is only for the gopis of Krishna. Vatsalya rasa is only for the Yashodama and the elderly gopis of Vrindavan. Right? So if you see Vaikuntanath or Vishnu with Lakshmi and everything, that's Dasya rasa and Shanta rasa only applicable there. But in Vrindavan, you can see Krishna's flute, Krishna's, and the garland, Krishna's dhoti, Krishna's peacock feather, peacocks, all these cows and all of this. So these are in Shantarasa. Everything is servitor. That's not like the stone in Vrindavan is not equal to the stone in this material world. This material world stone is lifeless, but in Vrindavan, even a stone has life. So everybody is serving Krishna there. And coming to the next part, that's the Dasya Rasa. There is Chitraka, Patraka and all of them. And then coming to the Vatsalya Rasa, the Sakya Rasa, there are friends of Krishna, unlimited friends, Gopas, Gopis, all of them. And there is Vatsalya Rasa, Mother Yashoda, Rohini or Nanda Baba, elderly gopis of other gopas, mothers. Everybody is loving Krishna in a motherly nature. And Madhurya Rasa, all these young, small gopis with small little Krishna, they are dancing in Madhurya Rasa. So we see all these 5 rasas are in Krishna. And not just that, there are some more rasas which we will go through in further chapters. So how Krishna is exhibiting all of this. So we can enjoy Krishna's loving service in so many ways, right? Not only the embrace of the gopis, but the fight of Bhishma with Krishna, right? It's not just about, here basically Prabhupada is saying that it's not just about Vrindavan Krishna. Even if you see Krishna in Mahabharata, that is also Krishna's Shaurya Rasa. It's Krishna is showing power when he's fighting with Bhishma. And that is giving pleasure to Bhishma. It's giving so much pleasure to Bhishma, with a wheel. He's so happy. He's like, he's just making joke of Arjuna. He's saying, Arjuna, what you can't see, I'm seeing today. He's like, Arjuna is like, what are you able to see? He's like Krishna with sweat in his body. It's shining with the light. And that bluish body with sweat coming out of his body, the transcendental sweat. It's just making Krishna shine like anything. I can see that from my eyes. Because Krishna is sitting in front of you and you are sitting back, you can't see Krishna's face, but I can see that Parthasarathi, Krishna, and he just is so happy, Bhishma. But you can see the Shaurya Rasa of Krishna there. so piercing his body with arrows. Bhishma is just leaving one by one arrow, and some are hitting Krishna also. So that's also a rasa. Therefore, Krishna is Akila Rasamrita Sindhu. In whatever condition, he's full of bliss and full of happiness. So there are 12 rasas. The primary are the 5 rasas we just discussed. And any rasa, Krishna is ready to respond and deal with Krishna. Respond to any rasa you want to deal with Krishna. That is Krishna's position. So that's what we discussed today. And in the preface, we explained about what is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What is it? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Break it and tell me. What are the 4 things in that one phrase?
Bhakti, Rasa, Amrita, and Sindhu.
Yes. Bhakti means what?
Devotional service.
Rasa?
Devotion.
Mellow.
Amrita?
Mellow juice. Nectar.
Sindhu?
Ocean.
Very good. So we discussed also the eternal rasa of Krishna consciousness. We compared the material rasa to the eternal rasa and discussed the significance of Rupa Goswami. And then we discussed, identify why Prabhupada wanted to write all this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And he actually, Prabhupada did not have money to print Nectar of Devotion. And it's if you see the last, almost to the last of the preface, he writes to Sriman Jayananda Prabhu. He's one of the great. And if you would have listened, a week ago, Aishwarya Mataji was taking the class on this. Who is Jayananda Prabhu? That's wonderful. So he left before Prabhupada, and Prabhupada wrote. He's a dedicated for Prabhupada's service and everything. Rath Yatra, what we see today, is famous Rath Yatra. It was started by Jayananda Prabhu. So he was the one, and nobody had money to give Prabhupada to print books. He was the first person to give money to Prabhupada to print books. And whatever salary, whatever he has to, he would have got, he gave it to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada became so happy. With those money, he printed Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the first initial books of Nectar of Devotion. And he specially writes thanks to him. And when he left the body, before disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, somebody disappeared before his spiritual master. So Prabhupada writes that Jayananda dedicated everything to Krishna. So definitely he has gone back to Godhead. And even today, because of Prabhupada's instruction, every Rath Yatra you can see Jayananda Prabhu's small image in the Ratha, in front of Ratha, because under his direction we are pulling the Ratha. So it was a great benediction by Srila Prabhupada. And we should remember him when we all read. Okay, so explain the objectives of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu with the reference of Vrindavan Krishna as Akila Rasamrita Sindhu, presented the overview of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and specifically the Purva Vibhag, because we are going to deal with the Purva Vibhag. So our philosophy is not to mix up with the water superficially, but enter into the water and live there like a fish, big fish. Okay, but if you remain superficially on the water, it's like a bubble, you'll just go. So dive into this ocean. So to dive into this ocean, you should be like a shark and whale. You should be very strong. And this Mayavadi fishes, small fishes, don't care about them. Just dive into the ocean. This ocean you have got today, right? So, but if you remain superficially on the water, then you will be evaporated again and again, thrown outside, come as water. You're coming and going. Repetition of birth and death will stop. So analogy is given like an ocean of water. But if you stay in the layer on top, what will happen? You'll just go. It evaporated again, you have to come back. So better dive into that like a big fish. One should become a big fish. There's no evaporation. So don't be misled by the Mayavada philosophy that me, God, everybody is one. Don't be misled that you fall into the water. These things are explained in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Rupa Goswami. Okay, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, everyone. So anybody has any questions can raise their hand. Okay, so dive into this ocean of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So please go through the preface once again. The preface itself is such a big preface. So Prabhupada was in ecstasy while writing the Nectar of Devotion. Okay. Yes. That's why we take it in the last Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's not so, we can't explain these things to the new people in level 1. We can't explain that Krishna is Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu. We can't explain. So it's good to explain. So chant more and you'll be understanding very well. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. So anybody has any questions?
Attendance sheet?
It's already shared, I guess. No?
I couldn't
don't
see in the chat.
Actually, my chat just got deleted because I just went out. Anybody has in their chat, you can pay.
What is it, Mataji?
No, Mataji, we want that.
This thing.
No, it was shared, but because we went out to the breakout rooms, no, I think now it is not seen. Now it is there. Okay.
Oh, Ron, send that. Just check, Mataji, if it's the same. I guess it's the same thing. No? Yes, please. Yeah. So please fill this. Okay. That's the attendance link. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Rana Prabhu. I'm just pasting again what Prabhu just pasted. Okay, anybody has any questions for today, or you can just end? I'll be sharing the this thing, questions for introduction. Maybe after your examination of Ishopanishad. Okay, after that I'll paste. Just post. Just remind me, somebody. Harshali Mataji is not here. Somebody can message me in WhatsApp after your exam.
What is the date for examination?
Date for examination was on 27th. 27th.
Okay, Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, 27th. And how many days are remaining? Just 2 weeks. Okay, just and I have already shared you all the questions, closed book, so that it becomes easy from there. Okay. Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnavanti ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, everyone.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Mataji, for this test on 27, you have sent the questions closed book and open book. Which one you have to read?
Closed book, short ones, Prabhu.
Closed
short.
book.
Closed book, short.
Essays you have sent, that one you have to read, or?
I just sent everything because it will be helpful, but for the examination purpose, closed book, short questions.
Okay, Mataji, so those open book we need not learn now, no?
Need not learn.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare